Shop. Weeb tip number 1. If you don't have a manga collection, can you really call yourself a weeb? The answer is no, you can't. And reading online on pirate websites just makes you a douche. And nobody likes a douche. Izuku was on the ground with his shoulder bleeding with his friend trying to help him. How does it feel, Deku? Ochako asked, putting her hand on his shoulder for some pressure. Not too much. I can move on my own, so that's a good thing. Izuku gave her a smile to let her know it's alright. Suddenly they heard cop sirens coming down the street. Good thing you can. Come on, let's get out of here before the heroes and policy get here. She stretched her hand out to him, which he accepted, helping him get off the ground. Watch your step, she said as they walked past the villains on the ground and they left through the back of the building. Later. Come on in here. Ochako opened her apartment door, helping Izuku in. I really can move on my own, Uraraka, Izuku reminded her. I know, Deku. But I don't want you to strain and make it worse until we know it's not serious. We are almost there anyway, she continued to help him move. They made it to her couch, Ochako helping him sit down. Go ahead and remove the top of your suit, Ochako commanded. Oh, okay. Izuku was nervous about removing his shirt in front of someone, mostly a girl, and that girl being Ochako, but he did so, tossing it to the ground. Ochako under normal circumstances would be a blushing and stuttering mess seeing Izuku like this, but she was too worried about his health right now. Of course, she caught herself looking at places that she didn't need to and silently scolded herself for doing so. It doesn't seem deep at all and you haven't lost anywhere near enough blood for us to worry, she said while inspecting his wound. See, I told you that I'm fine, Izuku once again reminded her. You can't be too careful, Deku. You never know if we need to go to the hospital, and if they find out who we are, we will be arrested. Ochako went into her kitchen and fetched a first aid kit. She brought out some gauze and placed it against his wound. Hold this for me, Ochako asked him. Sure. He placed his hand on the gauze, keeping it still. Ochako grabbed the bandages from the first aid kit. She wrapped some of it around his shoulder, covering the wound, keeping the gauze in place. Thanks, she thanked Izuku as she finished placing it on his shoulder. I should thank you since you're the one taking care of me, Uraraka. Izuku grabbed his top half of his suit. There's blood on it, let me wash it. Ochako took it from him. I could wash it back at my house, Izuku informed her. It's already getting late, and knowing you would wait till tomorrow, and if you were needed you would wear it with the blood still on. Do you want me to wash the rest of your clothes? Ochako asked. I don't have anything to change into. Izuku blushed and Ochako did as well, realizing that. Sorry. How about just why your mask? Ochako asked, not looking him in the eye. Story continues below. That's fine. Izuku proceeded to take his mask off, revealing his face. He handed it to her and she went to her laundry room. She put her own mask in as well with some bleach and started to wash them in the washer. She returned back to her living room and sat down on the couch beside Izuku. It's going to be a while till it's done. And then they have to dry. Sorry, Deku. Ochako apologized for him. It's alright. I don't have anything else to do. How about we watch TV? Izuku suggested. Sure. Ochako grabbed her TV remote and turned on the TV. She was still poor, unfortunately, being a vigilante. She helped her parents at work though, so they made some money that way, and Izuku helped her out as well, being friends. And once again the villains were defeated before the pros and police arrived. Camera footage revealed it's the two vigilantes that have suddenly appeared. While it is still unknown who these two are, They have been taking care of villains without anything stolen or anyone severely hurt anytime we can find of them being at the scene. A reporter was standing in front of the jewelry store Izuku and Ochako were just at. Looks like they're acknowledging as deku. Ochako and Izuku weren't praised often due to being vigilantes, but they weren't in this for popularity anyway. I doubt all the pros would agree with that, uraraka. So is there anything else on? Izuku asked. Let me check. Ochako scrolled through the channels and landed on SpongeBob. Izuku let out a small chuckle which Ochako pouted at. What's so funny? She said with her cheeks puffed. Don't you think we are a bit old for a kid's cartoon? Izuku questioned. As long as it's the first few seasons or movie, then no, I do not think that. If you don't like it you can go home topless, Ochako joked with him. Nah, it's fine, and this one is my favorite episode. I think it's called Gary Come Home. The song is really nice. Izuku laid back in his seat. Mine is Band Geeks. Ochako smiled. They watched a few episodes before Ochako heard her washer go off. Be right back. She got up from her spot on the couch and went to her laundry room to put them in the dryer. Izuku took the time to look around her living room. He came over at least once a week, but he never stayed for more than a few hours. They were just friends after all. Izuku looked at a picture on her wall. It was a picture the day Izuku and Ochako started to become vigilantes. It was just their heads without their masks, which is good in case Ochako had company over and someone saw it. Ochako had the words, "Our first day," written on the picture as well. Izuku smiled at the memories that he has with her. The good, the bad, and the day they were rejected from you. Izuku never got any points during the exam. Ochako would have had more, but she got trapped under a giant robot. Izuku wanted to help, but he didn't have a quirk. He never met All Might in this one, and he didn't let everyone who bullied him stop him from trying. The school stopped the robot in time, but Ochako never got enough points and she failed. Izuku and Ochako got closer afterwards and they tried other schools, but none would accept Izuku, and Ochako refused to go to one without him after Izuku tried to save her. Story continues below. And she never told him, but he was her hero. And that's how they became vigilantes. Deku. Ochako waved her hand in his face, snapping him out of memory lane. Uraraka. Izuku shook his head. Are you alright? Ochako asked, sitting down right next to him. Why, yeah, I'm fine. Ochako was a bit closer to him than normal. Their shoulders were nearly touching. Alright if you say so. Do you want to keep watching? Ochako asked, grabbing the remote. I think I'm good for now. Izuku watched her turn it off and set the remote on the table in front of them. Sorry, it's going to be another half hour before they are done. It's almost 1 am. Ochako looked at her phone, checking the time. Good thing I live on my own, or else my mom would flip out. Izuku had a small chuckle knowing his mom's overreactions. Well, if you want, you can. Stay here for the night, Ochako offered. Is that alright? The virgin Izuku asked. Oh, of course. We're friends, we are both adults, and I trust you. So yes, it's fine if you stay. If you want. The virgin Ochako nervously said. Why, yeah. In that case, sure, Izuku accepted. Gee, great. This couch pulls out so you can use it whenever you're ready to sleep. Ochako got up from her spot. Before that, can we just talk? Izuku wasn't ready for her to leave. Sure. About what? Ochako asked, sitting back down. I'm not sure. I just don't want you leave yet, Izuku confessed. Ochako blushed a bit but figured she could give him a little tease. So you're trying to get me to stay so you can flirt with me? Ochako asked with a smug look. And no, of course not. I just want you to stay for a bit longer. Izuku now was blushing. That made Ochako blush a bit more. Deku. Ochako said his name. Yeah, Izuku looked back at her. She was slowly coming closer to him, just barely noticeable. Is that true? You want me to stay so we can spend time together? Ochako asked, hoping it was really true. Quote dot dot dot. Yes, it's true, he confirmed his previous statement. He now found himself drawing closer to her. Izuku. Ochako used his real name. Usually that meant she was mad at him, but not this time. Ochako. Izuku copied Ochako. Their lips made contact. They both had their lips connected to each other. They split after just about 2 seconds, making a small little smack sound. The both looked at each for a few seconds, neither one not dating to move, waiting for the other. They both moved together, putting their lips back together. This time they kept their lips together. Izuku placed his hand on Ochako's face, deepening the kiss. Ochako grabbed his hand, pushing it away, and she instead sat down in his lap, being careful not to hurt him. They continued their kiss together. After a bit they stopped so they could catch their breath. So I guess we won't be needing the pull-out couch, huh? Ochako smiled as she took deep breaths. I guess that's 2 things that won't be pulling out tonight then. Izuku talked dirty. And Ochako loved it. Something was light in both of them, and it was growing. I didn't know you had such a dirty vocabulary, Deku. Ochako put on a shocked face. Sorry, is that bad? Izuku asked, worried he had upset her. No, not at all, but do you mind helping me with this? Ochako played with her zipper to the top part of her vigilante suit that she already pulled down a bit, showing off her cleavage. Let me get that for you. Izuku reached up to her zipper, pulling it down, and took it off, leaving her in a pink bra. Izuku just stared, blushing at her chest. Do you like them? Ochako asked. She knew they were big, but hopefully they were big enough. Absolutely. Izuku slowly nodded his head. Ochako giggled at his reaction. She leaned back and kissing him, pressing her boobs against his chest. Uraraka. Are we just going to keep teasing each other? Izuku asked in between a kiss. Just a little bit more. Ochako hopped off his lap and backed up a bit. Come on. Ochako motioned for him to follow using one finger. Izuku got up, making sure he didn't hurt himself, and followed her. Just when he was about to reach her, she took a few steps back, getting just out of his reach, teasing him. You gotta be faster, Deku. Ochako waited for him to come again. He got closer and he went faster, but she went out of his reach when he got close. Come on, Deku. Ochako smiled. She turned the doorknob to her door, opening it and stepping inside. Izuku went inside and he closed the door behind him. Anyone want a lemon? They taste good as lemonade. New reading list.
Finally we can relate. Our side by side, this is vain. I knew all along we'd find some way to communicate.